page up. Alright, welcome to the defeat of the day on Star Trek Fleet Command Show with Anh-Kim and Felix. Hey, say hello, Felix.
Hey everybody.
Hey, I hope you can hear him. Let's put him right next to the mic here. So he's actually on speakerphone with me, live from Australia. I am live from ASEAN, or Vietnam, or Southeast Asia, or Indochina, or wherever you want to call this place. Same piece of land. At the same house I've been for about 12 years. So here is a level 31, and you'll see him on the APAC server. If you see his base, please tell him, or tell us where he is in the comments. So I'm in Vermont, and I'm waiting for you. So FreeStyleCapt is a level 31 ENT player. The ship he used to attack me was a 1.1 million. Here's his stats here. For some reason my stats are only after the thing, but maybe in the battle log it shows what I start with. But you know, my ship's about a fifth of the strength, and you know, our history, we actually battled once, and you know, he almost survived. Sort of. He actually repaired his ship, so it took me literally like 20 rounds, I think, but I have a very light Vok, and I used the Kamari too at the same time. So, and to be honest, my playing style is mining, getting the speeding, research, saving the cost more so than attack power. So you can see my strength's 256 only. So for people who have tougher researches and then better, higher crew and stuff, you can get a little more kick. You can see he lost about an eighth of his hull, or maybe that's like a sixth of the hull. And there's a little chart without actually a number stat here. And it was in Pika, which is one of my favorite places. Most of the time it's a pretty peaceful day, but there's kind of this unwritten, not really a rule, but a stupid habit of shooting people off the rocks just for fun. Sometimes when they need stuff, which is sad because you can change your name to anything you want. So sometimes if you shove in your name something, but it's kind of inconvenient because we need like a marker or a flag or something. Like, you know, I need this resource. Please don't shoot me. I don't know. Or a peace shield around the ship or something, because for some reason the regular ship is never invincible. So you can see his damage numbers. He's putting out 67,000. We're putting out 13,000 damage, and it was just 3 rounds. Of course, I was sitting there to come back to actually hold the spot so I can come back and mine for my daily goal. And I'll be honest about that. I don't like the number or how many hours you have to do this, because originally when I played the game, I thought at most I'd play the game for like 15-20 minutes a day. I didn't really want to get too deep in this, but it's been an interesting learning experience, which I've done before in Navy field, which was a different thing. We already had 5 docks to start with. We don't have offline play. There's no base rating. So go play at Navy field from SDNet. Right, Felix? Try that game. As I did, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a military game, but it's really just one ship. Like, there's another point. When you get to a certain level, you can put like a little trailer ship. So your first ship you save, and you can actually attach it to like your aircraft carrier or a larger destroyer or a light cruiser, and then it'll follow you, and it automatically like helps you out. I think I don't remember if you can control both ships or not. Maybe you can, but it's an exception because it's already hard enough to control one ship in the game. Plus, each round at the time, we could only go 30 minutes. So from beginning to end, there was a clock in the corner. You had exactly 30 minutes to play. So there wasn't unlimited time or a full 24 like this one. But there's no time clock restrictions yet. But that's something we might do on a kind of like a Navy field Star Trek. Anyways, so yeah, you can see my slow mining ship. Only got the first 2,139 units, so I still need to mine 15,000 more. And you're wondering how fast does my ship mine? If I set it up correctly, which is important. I use one of my envoys, and not the Botany Bay, not the Fortunate, not another ship. I'm able to mine rocks at about, I think it's around 4,200. A little, like somewhere between 4,000 and 4,200. So it depends on which ship. It might depend on what time and day too, because I can't see the internal code in here yet. I'd like to show you that someday once I get the ability to show this. But this is, you know, C++ Unity software, you know, and when you actually see the internal code, you would learn a little more, and it's actually a little more interesting too. Now to save time, you know, you can actually you don't have to put the whole second row of crew here. And we just take this whole crew. You can see there's not much of a difference. 42K versus 56K. We're gonna go it. So I don't have to take crew off. I have them available because when you can see ships here are often 3 more times powerful than you. So it doesn't matter if you have 5, 10, even 30,000 more power. Every time they're gonna defeat you. So there's no random chance like in what is it, Final Fantasy? Remember that? You know, like the super critical hits. You can get like 5 of them, or you could actually activate them. You don't get those here yet. That's a funner game of Star Trek Fleet Command. One that's actually kind of like Star Trek Armada from Activision. So it's single player, but you got to check it out. If you search for it in any search engine, it'll come up. But I think it's on like gamershell.net. It's also on probably download.com or CNET. There's other video games. Abandonware, my Abandonware has it for sure. And if you have issues getting it working, you can ask me in the comments. I can see if I can help you. But there's a lot of people who know the solutions too, and they can help you out too. Now, yeah, so just one thing I forgot. To get to the system with a tier 7 envoy, which is currently the highest tier, and they could make tier stronger, they could actually do something to actually give us the option to change the warp range. I was talking about Felix, but there's most games, you know, like Freelancer and Free Space is another space game. You can go anywhere in the space game without a restriction. Now this one has restrictions because it's kind of a new test system. Also, they're trying to save on the server load, but at the same time, they're trying to protect players from each other, right, Felix? And try to help restrict all the battling, because the battling is 24/7 here. Like you can get hit anytime. You know, your ship can, your stuff can. Only if you put your peace shields up, you're invincible. But your peace shields only exist for your base. So, which is one of the most important places for everything. For mine, my peace shield like right now is 13 hours and 44 minutes. So I use a lot. I'm basically peace shielded almost 24 hours straight. So I actually log in and put a peace shield up. Sometimes I put a day peace shield. The days I play, I put a 12 so I can sleep, have lunch, do something, or have breakfast. And this game has taken a little bit long to play, but it's because I have 2 or 3 accounts now. My hardware is not so good. And then now I hope we learn how to update this game. So, soon. Right, Felix? Like tomorrow. Yeah. So, if you want to help with this, I'll put it in the comments. Try to send to Scopy. There's petitions for Scopy to change it. I think everybody who created the game, there was probably a version of this game that was quick. But if you want just some quick action, but you can get a Star Trek Armada demo, and it'll work on any PC directly. You don't have to worry about the emulator. It's actually a smaller download. But the problem with it is that demo was originally designed for Windows XP. So you might have to put an XP capability or compatibility. So, and it does work. I've actually played it on this computer for a while. But strangely, Felix, after a while, it didn't work. I always get this error, which I might have to show people what that is so we can investigate and find the solution, right? So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think Felix would be fun. It'd be fun for him. Also, I want to show Felix how to play his PlayStation games on his computer if he ever needs a second PlayStation, right?
Oh, I got a couple already, mate.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I used to have the original PS1, but I never purchased 2, 3, 4, and whatever. So. I'd like to buy them. I plan to. I'm probably making payments right now to Sony, right? I'm sure my account is giving investments to the Sony Corporation. As I bought a lot of Sony stuff. We had like a Sony big screen TV, I had a Sony radio, I think I had which was also a CD player. I actually had a Sony DVD RW drive, purchased new, I think from Amazon or eBay. That was when I was in high school or college. I had a lot of products. The most expensive one was a TV, which was worth, I think, about $2,000 at the time. So it was like a 53-inch too, so it was huge. It was almost like 5 feet wide. It was not one of those lightweight, thin LCDs, but the projection was like 3 feet wide. Felix, you remember those? It was like a box. Yeah, one time because I read the manual, and I was afraid to damage it, so I never played many game systems on there. I just used like a small, like a 16-inch TV or 15-inch. I played once Resident Evil, and I scared the crap out of myself because I didn't realize how high the volume was. It was like really strong, and I was only like a meter away from the TV. And I plugged it in, and it loaded, like kind of a scary part of the game. And I heard like a giant zombie come out, and I had to turn it off. I'm like, I can't do it this way. It's too loud. I'm scared. Also, I read in the user's manual that you shouldn't play that projection TV with video games because it could cause damage. So it was specifically in the Sony manual. I forgot the model name, but if you look up projection TVs sold in the 90s, it was one of the few. They didn't have many sold in the U.S. So, and some are actually now on eBay now. So, which is okay for DVD games. Like, you ever played those, Felix? The ones you could play in a DVD player?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really fun. So you don't know what those are. I had one was Deal or No Deal for that thing. So you actually put in a regular DVD player, but you could use like the remote to play the game. So they're usually simple games like trivia or game shows with multiple answers. So it's something fun to do when you're indoors. Till the weather's good, right, Felix? And we're gonna play some soccer.
Very true, mate.
Yeah, I actually purchased I think it was like good used copy of that game. So and then I left it in Washington. So, yeah, I played it a few times and I got kind of bored. It was always the same clip of Howie Mandel. No, I actually watched the TV show instead, which was more interesting. So, Howie Mandel, if you ever see this video, let's play Deal or No Deal. I want to be the host this time, Felix. I'm gonna let him be the contestant. You know, it'd be a dream to be on that show and win. Honestly, I'd be happy with like 100 grand. I don't really care about the million. I just take it and go. Like 120, take it. I'm going. I don't care about the other 26 cases. Let's go, Howie. Where do I cash the check, Howie? You know, I'm taking that banker up there with me. Let's go to the bank. You know? Like my version of Deal or No Deal would be like 5 minutes, and there'd be only like 5 amounts. They'd be all big amounts. 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever. You're done. You're gonna win. Okay, let's go. You know, we're done. Be exciting, quick, and probably a lot cheaper. So. But yeah. So that's a kind of a tangent there of another game or entertainment there. So yeah. So I'm actually flying my VOC to a level 24 system called ER Zone, and that's actually a swarm system. So we're gonna try to finish it up. Actually, Felix, I feel kind of tired. I might skip the whole gold trophy event today on this account. So.
Oh, it's not that hard to complete. You should be able to complete it quite fast.
Oh, it's too many. I got 2,000 points. They want that.
Yeah, you just got a couple of level 26s, plug in at this point. To get through quickly.
I know, but there's events every day for parcels, so I already got 60 million stored.
Yeah, but that event's gonna run 2 more days.
Really? It's not like a 24 and it's not down to like 5 hours?
If you look, there's a LB challenge for 3 days for it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll probably get it tomorrow and the next day.
Really? I thought the
Yeah.
solo. Well, are we talking about the LB is the Alliance one? I was just talking about the solo.
Yeah, but we'll get the solo another 2 days to match the LB.
Oh, okay,
Like
yeah.
they did with the Hunt.
Yeah, I see that. You're right. Yeah, so under the event, these points count cumulatively for every time you win gold trophies, right? Which are at certain levels, like 100 points is a certain level. Your team or your alliance actually gets more points. Okay, so for sure I'll complete the ones on my first account. So I think I can get through those a little faster.
Yeah, just do your main. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this secondary, you know, this can be like 24 the whole year. I wouldn't care, to be honest. But the rewards for this account are pretty good. I don't think I want to move it up too high later. Part of it is this account, all these combat related parts of the game have level restrictions. So this account can still hit level 20s and 21s. Interestingly, depending on the ship, like 21 is across the board as far as I've seen. But 20s depends if it's a survey ship or if it's a like attack ship, is what I call it. Because those ships are more powerful with attacks, and they have the symbols for the battleship, which is the bombing symbol. Like this one has Explorer, which is a star, and then the other one is the Interceptor, which looks like a wing, kind of like the Air Force. So, yeah. Yep. 'Cause, our alliance does pretty good, you know, out of 100 alliances, we're always like in, well, like the top 20, so. Yeah, like,
Consider we're not run the full line, so only run half a line.
mm-hmm. But I've
I
seen,
have 4 members.
yeah. Yeah, so you have to think about your individual score, but you know this account better than anybody else. You know, it's, so you don't have to worry about racing with everybody else. It doesn't actually make it fun. It's not, you know, not a big difference, you know. Even if you get 5 of the highest ships that are on, the gameplay is about the same. So, honestly, I want to play some basketball with Felix. Like a little 3-point contest when I come to Australia, right? Even in your house or your backyard. Yeah, we're gonna do some crazy. Remember that 100-point basketball? I was gonna do like if we divided the court, you know, like the end of the court is 100, like a football field. Like every 10 feet is a different point score, right? And we could just put, you know what I mean? Like if people played that way, that would be amazing. So. Or even just like 5 maybe is too many. Let's go down to 3. How about that? Like there was a 1-pointer, a 2-pointer, and a 3-pointer, or a 2-pointer, a 3-pointer, and a 5-pointer. So I've seen that. You know, like there's games, I think for the All-Star game or certain tournaments, where they have like a circle. There's actually a special circle all the way, almost at half court. If you shoot from there, it's worth like 5. And then like actually behind the half court line, it's worth another thing. Which, you know, I'm always thinking if you make the half court line thinner, would that be easier? You know what I mean? That's kind of a secondary thought. But it'd be fun to play that, so. I'm copywriting that idea, Felix. Just one copy for myself. And I always put in some videos, God write it. So I'm God writing it, and Jesus writing it. So, if you're wondering where that office is, it's in heaven. Yes, there's a patent clerk in heaven, right, Felix? It's probably all those guys that you always hear about in history that used to be patent clerks. Whole team of those guys. But anyways, I don't know. It's not that original of an idea. I'm sure somebody has it too. But you know, it'd be fun to see that. But there's sometimes in a game where you really need like 5 points, Felix. You know what I mean? And if you could get an extra 5 from there, there's some guys that are really proficient at that half-court shot now. Like you see it in the NBA. They're practicing that day in and day out. And every day it's like an hour of practice for that shot. Like a solid, serious, patient, you know, skilled, wise practice of that with a lot of knowledge. So that's why they're the best, you know, like in the world at that stuff. So like in the NBA, you know, after those players go to international leagues, you know, the U.S. has won gold medals for almost the whole century. So there's a huge amount of skill there and performance and the kind of inside knowledge and practice that goes into that. So they're very, very good at what they do. So they're not perfect yet, right, Felix? They don't get 100% from the field every day. Which, if they get to that point, I don't know if the score matters anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've seen it, not in real life, but I think I've seen it like in a video game, Felix. Like you ever set that? I used to play NBA Live, right? 98. That was the copy I had for PlayStation 1. And we, on a real PlayStation, on a real CD too, black-coated ones. I put it on the easiest setting, and it was weird. Like it was so easy in that game. You could actually, you know, make 100% of all your shots, like even from full court. Like the programming that was amazing. So it's not like the newer games that are fully 3D, which look cool, but if you try to go to 100%, it it's still, or try to put on the easy, it doesn't give you the 100% shots. So if you ever want to play a really fun old school game, NBA Live is one of them. But like the NCAA tournament is pretty fun too, though I've never tried I tried to mess with the difficulty settings. So I think the most shots I've ever made is about 12 in a row though. So that's amazing to have a perfect day, but the rest of the day was pretty lame. You know what, Felix? You know, that was like, you know, I didn't have a party. I didn't get to go out to a restaurant. I didn't get to see my girlfriend. You know, it was like real lame. I just see the guys only. I was kind of bored that day, and then I'm making all my shots. It's one of those special days. I think there was like maybe like at least 5 other guys. I think we're playing like just 3-on-3. So I think everybody has those days. It's just amazing to see it happen. But you always wonder like what controls that kind of ability, you know? Like what turns it on, Felix? Like guys who are multi-billionaires, they have that with their financial part. Guys in sports, they have it with their sports skills. Guys in like engineering have it with their engineering skills. So you see it turned on. You remember those days? Like everything just worked. Like you could find every solution. It's just like making every shot. Like there's that video, if you watch highlights of Kobe Bryant making over 100 points in one NBA game. Of course, it was a setup. I mean, you know, it was one of those games where he's getting the highest points, and they just give him all the ball because he can make all those shots. And he probably talked to the head coach like 5 years ago. I don't know if it was Phil Jackson that time, but whoever the new guy was. So, you know, they prepared for it, and the other team's just like, you know, we're gonna lose this game, so let's see how much he can score. You know, well, they got like 70-something games in the season. Even with the suspension on the NBA, they're gonna come back and play through the summer, or they'll cut maybe 10 games this year, but they'll play a full season next year. So, for sure, you know, I don't think they're gonna be shutting down in April. A lot. Those things will come up to full speed, especially next year. We got to make up for the stuff that we haven't finished, Felix. So. Yep. So I'm kind of all over the place here. Talked about defeat of the day. This is kind of like a full show here. Alright, actually I can hit regular swarm now. Now controlling 2 different ships, I'm trying to give you the answer to a question if you're listening at home. What do I do, or how do I, get the most stuff in the game, right? Like this is pretty much how the game is. And many games are like that. How do I get the experience? How do I get the points? How do I get the money? I think Felix referred me to an app called MS Game. So if you check that out in the Google Play Store, I downloaded it, but I haven't ran it yet. I'll try to make a video about that. So for this event, we can hit hostiles of any faction, but I have to hit certain levels. So for this event, minimum level is important. Because the max I don't think I can hit right now. But at some point, you know, you actually are able to hit the maxes a lot. So right here, so 24 is a minimum, 25s are 1 point, 26s are 2 points, 27s are 6, and 28s are 20. So now I'd rather get the Hostile Harbinger because it has speed ups and parts, and I'm still building this account for D3, so which I think I have almost 70 blueprints now. So thanks to all the events and all. So, but with this ship here, well, I can hit 25s here pretty much all day. So, oh, I forget, I'm not Federation here. This one I'm friendly only with the Klingons. So 25s, interestingly, don't exist in the neutral space area, but your systems start from 1, and I think the highest goes only to 21. So if you want 25s, this is the system here. That's the closest. It's going to take 6 minutes to get out. But for the last part of the show, Felix, are you still there?
Yeah, mate, silly.
Yeah, well, that's part of the show. We are going to go to this system here. And it's actually level 16, so this is Caldic. There's 2 systems that are level 16. And so this is going to be a little bit stronger swarm, but you know, look at the power. It's like 21,645. You know, my Kira has a lot of researchers in it, so a lot of interceptor researchers. It like almost like a dozen levels of stuff total, maybe more if I included the general combat researches, and it's 203,000 strength. So if you're wondering about the ship level on this, it doesn't show. That number is actually a warp range that shows. So if you want to see it, you got to go to manage, and you'll see here it's actually level 29. I have 22,485 XP. Now this Kira can hit level 25s too. So I can put actually both ships in the same system to save me time. That's why I'm pre-sending that VOC there. So even though there's like it looks like a little bit of a hull, but that hull is actually on the statistics as strong as like a Tela or more. So you know the ship's like almost 300k or 250. That chunk of the hull is the same power, and the offensive power is more than like you know a ship that's like 80,000 strength. So don't underestimate a third of your ship. You got to try it out. That's pretty cool. It's one of the nice things. In Navy field, I have to say, you die super fast. Felix, like some rounds, I'm literally out in the first 2 seconds of the game by accident. Like because your ships line up so close on the side, and then you all rush. But if you don't steer straight in that game, and you touch the down and up buttons, it's really hard to recorrect the angle. It's real sensitive, even for the aircraft carriers. You will actually cross over something, and if they fire, some of these guys are actually trying to, they got extra ammo, so they're trying to get their guns right and practice shooting. And if you cross over the top and then you fire, you'll instantly die. And there's no second life in that game at all. Like, I never played a single round where we had like a continue or a respawn or nothing. We had 1 life only in that game. So it teaches you a pretty good lesson about accuracy, Felix. So it's not like in this game, it's like unlimited lives, you know. We get destroyed and we come back, and we get destroyed and we come back. You know, with speed ups or you know, cheaper ships, you can actually, you know, probably come back like 100 times in a day, you know, or a dozen if you want in an hour. So, you know, which we do sometimes, right, Felix? At least over the course of a month.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, every day. So it's a little tiresome, but you know, this game might be over in a few years because everything has a lifetime. You know, our Star Trek Armada's online play is gone. Navy field was, I heard, gone for a while. Now it's been revived. So you enjoy it while you can. So, and with these videos, this actually makes me feel better because I actually can see this, and I hope we can make a single player version or something of this game later on, just to kind of relive the moments. So it'd just be fun to see it running, even just like a demo or something, which is a little different than the videos. Sometimes your HD videos look very close, but actually a real display of the game is the most unique thing, and sometimes the most fun and happy thing to see. So now that's Alliance Solidarity. So is that the other one it's called? Okay. I always forget the name of that one, Felix. Alliance Unity versus Alliance Solidarity. Wasn't it a different name like yesterday?
Yeah, I think it's Alliance Unity.
Yeah, Unity is the one I remember. There's two Alliance things. And so there's another way you can get those points. I've said that a long time ago, one of my first videos, is you can actually donate or contribute directly to your alliance. So, and we did that for a long time when we were building. Because Felix is one of the first in OPM. I was actually the first in OPM. I actually started the thing. And for a while, I literally had only 2 people for like days. And all of a sudden we recruited, and then Felix helped recruit it, and Prawn helped recruit, and I think probably others maybe. And we got up to like 50 members. And then I actually removed about 20 that I think weren't online often. So, for various reasons. Some were just, when I looked at their levels and I PN'd them, waited a day, 2 or 3, nobody replied. So, and for those of you that were kicked, if you're still want to play in our alliance, just PM me or talk in the Galaxy chat in our server. I can add you at any time. So I'm trying to give that ability to the other trustworthy members or senior members of OPM like Felix, hopefully Prawn, and maybe Torrance, Conte, but they're regularly in every game almost every day with me. And but I don't know if the second highest rank, because I can't make like everybody a leader yet. I wish I could sometimes, but then I don't like the ability of kicking everybody and then join. You know what I mean? It's like all messy. Like there needs to be like a warn button or suspend button or other things sometimes. Like sometimes we need to kick for certain reasons, but always having that button there and nothing else is a little strange. So I guess it's the strongest, but it doesn't seem like the most right, So I think I'm losing my voice here. Where's my cup of water? So yeah, I'm talking a lot here. All right, so we're in the last few minutes of the show. Felix, you want to say anything before we go? I'm going to try to finish 15 Swarm. So.
I think you covered everything quite well.
Thank you. But is there anything you'd like to add? Please add something. It can be any subject. This is just kind of like a practice run for the show. We're not streaming live, so this is all pre-recorded.
Basically, mate, when you're in your alliance, just follow what your alliance's rules are, and if you don't like it, find an alliance that suits you.
Yeah, that's true. That's good advice. So you didn't hear that. He said, if you join an alliance, follow the alliance, and if you don't like it, find one that suits you. I'm trying to paraphrase every word he said. So, yeah, that's perfect. Which goes to the story, I used to be an Ash, which I honestly was clueless about this game. I didn't know you could create one. I really wanted to. I actually honestly remember not seeing a button Like it just said join alliance, and I just joined one. But I was kind of hesitant because I wasn't in one. I think at the very beginning. I think somebody added me a few days later, and I actually talked to Sam, who interestingly attacked my ship at the beginning, so I knew it would be a bit of trouble. He wasn't the polite Sam, I guess. He might have done that at the beginning, but he just like hit my ship. So if you play this game, please talk to each other, you know, and ask. Yes, it's a bit of a pain, but if you copy the same phrase and ask at least like 5 people, you'd be surprised somebody will reply to you. And if you need a rock or even for base rating, you'd be surprised, you know, like sure, yeah, like you only need 300,000, just ask guys to do it. But once in a while, you know, you gotta be sneaky, you know, you try to be nice to those guys and actually pay them back, but make it formal. So I've been trying to do that. So, but some days it's just so hard to communicate with people. So I wish there was a trade system. I wish like these bases or armadas here would just let you, you know, raid there or whatever, or trade there, or barter, or like I could probably trade envoy blueprints for stuff. You know, Felix. You know, I have almost 300 now. So, like over 250 was the number for sure. So, and I know some people are skeptical. So we're gonna open up my shipyard, and I hate going here sometimes, because I have 6 on my thing. So there's Fortune. I got 11 of those, 111 Findra, 149 tourists, 154 blueprints for Tulla. Now, when we say blueprints, you actually need multiple ones to make one ship. You know, it's not the easiest, like a 1 for 1 ship. So that's why there's these 2 numbers. It's actually a fraction. I got 20 for the Vok, and then I think so the Envoy I have like 113 on this account. Okay, so that's actually not 200 on this second account. But on my first account, I have more than 200, so I played the most on there. But that's still a lot, though. I already have 3 envoys, and then if I were to build with 113, I could build 3 more. That'd be a total of 7. It'd just be so many. I don't know why I would have to use them all. Because I think the idea is in some later other versions of the thing, they might go like what EVE Online used to be, where you only get a 1 life per ship, Felix, and like, which is the hardest thing. Like you have to really protect your ship, and they actually have to build a new ship and try to really survive. You know what I mean? Which sadly really just kills the game. But for some people who are lucky and get a ton of resources and are comfortable with that, they actually thrive. You know, so because it just clears out like people who can't do it, you know, so fast. So like a whole mining galaxy.
More people to pay to play.
Yeah, it like clears out a galaxy. I remember going. It's not like full like this game, but you would go to a mining area in the game, and that was in a first-person perspective. Yeah, it was a really nice game. It looked like Freelancer or other 3D space games. But you would see, you know, tons of mining rocks open all the time. There was never a system that was like even 10% full. And it was huge. You know, it looked like a full-size galaxy. So it was a different view. This one, you know, the ships aren't quite proportional to the realistic size. If you look carefully, the ship is almost the size of like a station, you know. So they do that so you can see it, but it's not the right proportions. It's because it's for the game, you know. All right, we're down to the last 4 swarm hostile here. So. I got a clock on here, so it says I'm up to 1 hour and 1 minute. So I like these nice longer shows we do once in a while. So, you know, once it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, versus have a clip, cut a clip. You know, it's a bit hard to do little clips all the time. And Fortis, his account gave me a comment. I don't know if it was him. I think it was his little brother, Felix, or his brother. Gave me a comment saying, you know, don't do the 40-second clips and stuff, and make longer shows. I always try to do that, but I cut it because I'm trying to prepare to edit this stuff together later on. That was always been my first intention. So put in a commercial in between, add some music, add some extra graphics on the top. I'm still trying to get my video editing software, but I used to have a full version. So, all right. I think we're done with the 50s here. I don't know, I've been working like almost for 6 months over in the real estate industry, as I call it. It was really just on my property. So planning every detail out, trying to finish that, and then trying to maintain, repair, rebuild stuff on this property, build some new things too. Also, we garden here too, so we're actually growing trees and things like that. So, which I made a video today, Felix. I haven't uploaded it yet. It's actually the front door. There's a tree for sale here. So any of you watching,
Okay, yeah.
any of you watching YouTube, if you want to help sell or list these trees, just mention it in the comments or the other contact information. I could really use some help doing that. Even if you got a pre-made ad or you just want to, whatever, we can share the profits. I'm honestly, if you do, you know, a lot of the work and you actually can find a customer who can pay, I'm willing to take different types of currency too. A euro, you know, anything that's good. A check, a Google Pay. I don't know what the other ones are. U.S. dollars, Australian dollars, or Vietnam dong. As long as the exchange rate is right, you know, it'd be cool. So we got a tree that I think is probably worth at least like $200. This is huge one that used to be smaller, but it's grown so fast here, you know. Yeah, but we're not sure, you know, who we're gonna sell it to, and I've been trying to get my girl to help me list the tree, but she's really not interested in doing business listings. You know, she's like a commercial banker only. You know, she wants to be commercial finance only. She doesn't like sales and marketing. I'm like, really? Well, no, I don't think I can do only financial. I would just be bored out of my mind, always thinking about money, cash, check, banking. You know, like for me, it feels like it's all the same thing. You know. So I'm just amazed.
Not far off, huh?
Yeah, I know for most people it's just a day job. I mean, if they're making a good salary and they're happy and they get to spend their money, they don't notice it. But for me, I have other inspirations. Even at a high salary, I couldn't stay there. You know, it's just not, it was never the right place for me. Like, I'd like to start an online bank or even a little in-person bank someday to help support my other businesses. But I don't think I could do it full time for decades, you know. All right, so we're going to end the show here. I'm going to send both ships to the Yadao system. So if you're on this server, come and visit us. There's a new server transfer thing, but I think everybody gets one token. So come to the highest ranked APAC server, 200 if you want to see us. We're probably the most crowded, Felix. Because I was like in 88 by default on my third account. I barely saw anybody in some places that we normally see full here. But like even our 2-star is pretty empty nowadays, because most players are up to 3 and they're trying to get up to 4 so they can finish the game. All right, well, that's the end of our show. Thanks to Felix. Thanks to every one of you who is watching or will watch this in the future. Or today, I'm actually going to upload this and try to publish it before 6:30. That's it. So, say goodbye to everyone, Felix. We gotta get offline.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. That's a good one. All right. Good night, everybody. And have fun gaming.